Oh, God is faithful. Lord, chef. The screen is
Hallelujah.
live. Okay. It's live
Okay.
now.
We are live now.
Right. Good afternoon,
Let's go
everyone,
ahead.
and welcome to
We are live now.
another session of knowledge sharing on the Administrators Hub. Thank you, as always, for everything you've been doing to keep this program going. Without you out there, there's no us here. Let me let me just welcome every one of us and wish every one of us happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. Well, for us at the Administrators Hub, 2025 was a glorious year, a year of impact. It was indeed very, very impactful. However, with the array of modules and experts we have lined up coming our way this year, 2026 sure promise to be more impactful and bigger by His grace. Once again, thank you so very much. I want to also appreciate you on behalf of the convener for engaging us on our various socials. Thank you so very much for all you do to support us, those of us who are close to management, your advices, all of those ones goes a long way. Thank you so very much. Now, today, we are having a very special program. This is the first of its kind in 2026, and we are starting with a foundation. The topic for today is financial plan and investment. You may want to wonder why financial planning and investment, something so personal, and we're talking about what does it have to do with administration and professionalism? Well, I give you this. Mid last year, my university spent millions of naira training us on this same topic. And I've also spent some money, personal money, to get knowledge on this particular subject matter. Something that is we are spending millions on, we are getting it free on this platform. I think we deserve a flower on the Administrators Hub today. And mind you, you might also wonder, finance and administration goes hand in hand. The two of them must work in synchrony. Any breach will create a great challenge for the organization. So finance is also part and parcel of administration, so to speak. Remember POSCOP, which is an acronym for the responsibility of administrators. The last letter there, B, is budgeting. So which means that part of the responsibility of an administrator is finance. So you can see the relevance of today's program, of today's topic to our professional life. And again, it also helps us balance our private and professional life. Whatever happens in your private life also affects your professional life. No matter what, you are first a human being before you are a professional. So you must sanitize your personal life to avoid having issues in your professional life, which is the reason for why we are bringing this topic up. Because the chunk of the challenges that most administrators and any other employee in other profession have is finance. Once you take that out, then we have a smooth sail. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, we have the honor of having an expert in the house. Somebody who understands very vividly the financial ecosystem of Nigeria as well as what obtains abroad. He's currently resident abroad, and I'm sure he's going to be bringing a fusion of that knowledge to us. So that's why I say this particular session is going to be very rich. So fasten your seatbelts, please, and then get your whatever parfait drinks handy. The journey promises to be very smooth, yet impactful. Thank you so very much. Um, right about now, before I unveil the presenter, the expert in the house this afternoon, I have the pleasure of bringing on board the convener of the administrators of Miss Adefunke Fola Oyinloye. Oh, she's off. All right. Her network, maybe we just hold on for a sec or two. Perhaps she'll be back for our opening remarks. Well, to avoid wasting our time, I think we just go ahead. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oludare S. Fadoju is our presenter of the day. Permit me to read his profile. Oludare is a highly skilled professional with years of experience in the banking, accounting, and financial management, holding a bachelor's degree in accounting with second-class upper division honors from the University of Fadoju. Is recognized as a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Accountants of Nigeria (FCA) and successfully passed the Certified Information System Auditor (CISA) examination in 2015. Completing his academic achievement, Oludare has fortified his knowledge with a certificate in International Financial Reporting Standard from ACCA. He furthered his education by obtaining a distinction in MSc Finance from Covenant University Ota in 2018, while simultaneously achieving the status of an associate of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, ACIB. In 2020, he was formally inducted as an associate of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Currently, he is on the verge of completing his professional examinations for the Chartered Global Management Accountant qualification with the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, CIMA, United Kingdom. Oludare excels in relationship management and possesses outstanding analytical skills, demonstrating a profound interest in operational and information system control. His passion lies in optimizing business profitability through effective cost control measures, adept debtor management, proficient working capital and fund management. With an unwavering positive mindset, Oludare firmly believes that the untried only remains impossible until attempted. Very profound. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, I have the pleasure of presenting to you our presenter of the day, Mr. Oludare S. Fadoju. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Dare. Funny enough, he bears two of my names. My name is Oludare Samuel Fadoju, and he is Samuel Dare. So I'll just call him my brother. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Let me again appreciate the convener, Ms. Rikeoinloye, for this opportunity. It's been a little bit now that she has been trying to get me home for this, program, and but the way God has it, we are here live today. So I appreciate her and I appreciate everyone that is working with her. Also, let me appreciate everyone that has joined and so many others that are here to join that are still coming up. We sincerely appreciate everyone here. Good afternoon and welcome on board. By privilege today, it's the first of the series of the Administration Hub, the Free Knowledge Sharing Series. So please, I think she's back. She's back now. Okay? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, great. Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at planning and investment opportunities for 21st century professionals. Planning and investment opportunities for 21st century professionals. And as you have known, I'll be doing a little bit of time management this afternoon. And so please just be patient and get along as well. If there is anything or any question, just take note and then I might be able to take that if time permits. All right, so Happy New Year once again. And what we have now as a task is setting the pace for the year 2026, the journey ahead. So please permit, I think the way the slide is coming up on the StreamYard is not certain one, but okay, we can still go on with that. So, what is the journey ahead? What makes the 21st century investor? What makes the 21st century investor? We're talking about the 21st century investor. And please permit me to state at this point that without a first, without a second to the 20th, you cannot have the 21st. So the 21st century investor is nothing more than a twist in what has been known as a traditional, investment by the reason of technology and some other things that are coming up. So what makes a 21st century investor? Number one, 5 tips. Number one, a 21st century investor must stay educated. Financial education is key. Very important. I heard my brother talking about how much the school or the university spends in sending them on a training. So you must be prepared to stay educated financially. Financial education is important. Number two, risk management. 21st century investor must have a sincere definition. I use the word sincere in the sense that it is much more something that is personal. So you must be sincere, have a sincere definition of your appetite, have a sincere definition of, or be able to identify when you see a risk, and then put in place a control plan. Number three, this 21st century investor must be able to start early on compounding schemes. I'm still going to take all that in details, but this is just an overview. Number four, they must be able to exhibit the sense, the financial sense of diversify, which is diversification. And number five, the use of technology, which of course makes it, pronounced as a 21st century investor. All right, so we have a task here this afternoon. Every participant, I want you to grab your phone. While I was preparing for this section, I had this intuitive sense, and this idea came, and that is what I'm sharing with you right now. So everybody grab your phone. Let's start with that. If you have a Google Map on your phone, I want every participant to grab their phone now, go to Google Map. I'm sure that is one thing everybody must have on your phone. So grab your phone, go to Google Map. And on Google Map, can you please, on your own, just put any destination as if you want to make a trip. Just put anywhere. I know people are watching us from all over the world. We have people from the UK, from the US, in Nigeria. So wherever you are, just put a destination that you know of your own. Maybe next state, another side of the city where you are. Just put that on your phone and then go to direction on your Google Map. Put as if you want to make a trip. Put that on your phone and then go to direction. Once you put direction, I'm sure the next thing that will come out is you should have the means of transportation. You should have the time that it will take you. I don't know if participants are following it. I don't know if we're on the same page. Are we on the same page? So you should have that will come up on your screen. So the Google Map tells you your location. The Google Map tells you your destination that you have keyed in by yourself, and then it gives you so many options of how you can actually get there. And of course, you can have the bus system, the car system, you can have the walk. If you want to walk, it gives you different timings and all that on it. And then if you want to cycle as well, and you see all that on the Google Map. So what is the relevance of what we have just done? Now, let's see. What makes a 21st investor that we want to be, it's to identify, and I'm going to be spending more time talking about a financial plan. Because of the different sites and the different countries that we are joining from, I would dwell more on the financial planning, which of course is like the basis, the foundation of the sources that we're actually looking at. Now, what we have just done on that Google Map, just keep it aside, and I'm going to link it with what I'm about to say. Very 6 important questions. In 2026, we're trying to set the pace right. In 2026, very 6 important questions that you must be ready to answer as an investor, a 21st century investor that you want to be. So number one, where are you presently in terms of your financial position? You must be sincere. Where are you presently? I want everyone to take note of that. Number 2 question is, where are you going? What is your financial goal? What goal have you set for the year? Number 3, how do you want to get there? You can see what we saw on that Google map, telling you where you are, telling you where you are going, and showing you how do you want to get there. Do you want to walk? Do you want to take a bus? Do you want to take a car? Do you want to take a public bus? Or do you want to cycle? How do you want to get there? Number 4 question that is very important. How soon do you want to get there? The means, your investment vehicle. How soon do you want to get to that goal? Number 5, how much are you willing to pay? You can see all that. The choice you take will determine how much you are willing to pay. And so when it comes to investment and for 2026 that we're looking at, you should be able to talk about your financial education literacy and financial discipline. These are the costs that it will take from you. And then the last question, which is number 6, how prepared are you? How prepared are you for this journey ahead of 2026? Doing the same thing, the same way, expecting a different result. Someone said it's nothing else more than madness. So, but then we need to change the strategy. So, how prepared are you? Financial intelligence versus academic intelligence. By privilege and by the grace of God, and considering my background, I've worked in an academic environment, and I can tell you that there is a clear difference between financial intelligence and academic intelligence. If academic intelligence is what it takes to be financially successful, then every professor and everyone with a PhD holder will be the first to be rich, and every other person will follow according to the academic background. But the reverse is the case. Financial intelligence. So the first good starting point for this year is that you are in this meeting this afternoon. Okay, so we need to understand what financial planning is. What do you understand by financial planning? The ability to actually know what you want and actually decide how to get there. We need to break down our financial plan goal in order to achieve the set goal for 2026. Let me quickly share a story with us that I read in one of my books. A man was passing by the riverside and saw a fisherman that was fishing. And he observed what the fisherman was doing. He saw that anytime the fisherman brings out a fish, he has a stick of measurement that he has already caught. He places it by the side of the fish. If the fish is longer than the stick, it throws back the fish into the river. And so he kept observing and he kept doing that. So he asked a question. Fisherman, why are you doing this? So the fisherman responded, oh, the size of the stick is the size of my frying pan. Anytime I have a fish that is bigger than my frying pan, I throw it back because my frying pan cannot take that. What a story that touched me. What could he have done? 2 things. It's either he buys a new frying pan, which is bigger, or he catches the big fish and cuts them into pieces instead of throwing. So please, no matter what your vision is and your goal, please endeavor to have a breakdown and then you can achieve it. Don't throw back the big vision for this year 2026 financially. Of course, you need to understand investment vehicles like we saw, different options. And please take note this afternoon that money has wings and it can fly. I'm sure people will agree with me. It is not about how much you make, but how much you do with what you make. That is the most important thing. So many people are making money. I started off from the banking industry, and I can tell you very well that so many people made money in the banking, but they see had financial issues and they still get stranded. Budgeting, you need to have budgeting in place. Budgeting and estimate of your financial plan and your goal, expenses and income for the year. Please note that the foundational principle of money, time, and value is very important to put that in mind in this year as you get set to prepare the pace. The time value of money is very important, which we're going to see and we're going to still talk more about. Right, please. Here we have the next page talking about savings, expenses, and debt. These are very important things that we need to note as we prepare for the year ahead and beyond. How to make more money for savings is either you increase your income or you reduce your expenses. Now, I'm going to share a principle with us, which I read at a time, and then I later started reading in books after some time. And then I have seen it practically done, even with bigger organizations that your mind might not even go there, but this is what they do. The 20% principle of savings is very important for you to survive financially in your plan. What is the 20% principle of saving? Every income that comes to you, every money that comes to your hand, you need to be financially disciplined to save minimum 20%. Without a savings culture, you can never be an investor. There is no genuine investor that does not have a savings culture. So the first thing we need to do is to build the capacity of the savings attitude. If you can save 20% of everything that comes to your hand, to your, as income, you are really, really set to do. Please try it. I know some of us might not be Christians, but please permit me to quickly talk about this. If you go study the book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 41, talking about Joseph and when Pharaoh had a dream, and the interpretation was that famine was coming. You see, the natural principle of God does not change. He said famine was coming. And then the solution that was given is Joseph said, in the years of abundance, can we keep 1/5? 1/5. And what is 1/5? 1/5 is 20%. And that was what it took for them to go through the famine period. So please endeavor to make this a target henceforth. I've been doing this for many years now. So please. Again, another thing you need to make as a target is to reduce your debt reduction. There are so many of us, we have so many debts. Can you please try in 2026 and have a plan in place to start dropping your debts? And that will make you have a very good strategy, good plan to actually settle down to build your investment life. For those of us in countries where we have credit cards, you need to learn how to manage your credit cards. For those of us, because you have people all over the world, it has been a myth that people believe the more money you spend on credit cards, the higher your credit score goes. That's wrong. It's not possible. It's not right. You don't need to incur too many spendings before you have a good credit score. All the credit company are just looking for, or your loan or your mortgage are looking for, is the character to pay back and to prove that you are not a bad borrower. Now, please take note that not all credit cards, I'm making it general because I know we have people, that might be watching this or that are online right now. So they're not all credit cards are truly helping you. So please ensure to look more into cards that are balance transfer. They make you have your debt spread without interest at times for 36 months, 24 months, and a whole year without paying a single interest. Those are the kind of cards I always look for. Look for reward building cards that gives you opportunity to build rewards on your spending. These are the things that bring down your expenses. Now, there is a law known as the Parkinson's law. It says a man's expenses will always rise to meet his income and make him stay the same. If care is not taken, so many people are being caught under this law. So as a wise investor for 2026 rather, you need to make up your mind that no matter how much I make more, I should be able to control my expenses to limit myself so that I don't spend every additional income that comes into my hands. That is very, very important for us to take note of. Okay. Now, this is another aspect that people need to watch out for as a smart investor in 2026, tax expense. So many people, I give you an example, and this is one of the things I read, and I use the UK for example. You need to understand what your tax code is. What's your tax body? HMRC, which of course is the revenue body for that collects tax in the UK, had an error. I think in 2023, 2024 tax or thereabouts, it's said to affect about 5 million people, 5 million taxpayers who paid 3.5 billion pounds in excess taxes. That means they were overcharged, they were overbilled. So please take note that there is no system that is perfect, because most times the moment you just see them bring tax to us and you see these things coming out of your pay, we don't bother to ask questions. Please ask questions this year. Start asking questions. Even when you have your pay slip in every country where you are, please ensure you watch what your tax burden is. If you reduce your tax, you know what happens? You have more money that is available for you to save and to invest. Please take advantage of tax opportunities, claim refunds if you have the opportunity, gift aid, professional fees, etc. All these, they are legal means that you can, have refunds and have more money, for savings and investment. Tax avoidance is legal and not evasion. Of course, evasion is illegal. When you are changing figures and cooking up, stuff, those ones are illegal. Okay, so remember, very important, there is what at large is called a black tax. For those of us that are, Nigerians, you sure understand what I'm talking about. Please take note that you cannot solve everybody's financial problem. If that is what you have been doing, you need to slow down. You need to be calculative. You need to be strategic, because they call that black tax syndrome, the entitlement mentality, that once your phone rings, once any problem comes, you are the one they call. It's good to help, but please, you need to get this right. The moment you are not able to balance this, then there might be a problem for you financially. That's why you are struggling. So please don't give yourself high blood pressure in 2026 and beyond. Try as much as possible not to overstretch yourself. All right, so let's talk about savings because and inflation, because this is another very important aspect, that people need to give attention to when it comes to strategic decision in 2026 as regards finance. Savings and inflation, because so many people and our nature is to stop at the level of savings. We are so comfortable. I will soon get there and tell you the classification of the class where this set of people belong to. We are so comfortable when it comes to earning money. We are so careful. All we just want to do is just drop our money in savings. But please, from 2026, start thinking and start connecting. What is the effect of inflation on my savings? If I saved, have I really helped myself? Like the people that worked with me, while I was in finance department, I had even a team of people working with. I still do finance today. But then I have always been known for this statement: savings is good, but investment is better. So instead of stopping at that level of savings, please endeavor to move forward. Why? Because inflation rate catches up with your savings rate when they are too small. Look at this example. Consider the impact of inflation on your savings. If your principal is 100 naira, or 100 pound, $100, and the interest rate is 2% per annum, while inflation rate is about 3.5%, of course, you know what will happen. It means after 1 year, the 100 pounds or whatever you have in any currency is only worth about 96.5. While your nominal value, the interest you have earned on your naira, is only worth about 98.5. So without talking about the interest that is going to be taken on the tax, that is going to be taken on the interest. So what are we trying to say here? You need to understand what is the inflation rate per time, per year, and then what am I settling for in my savings? If you think you are smart by only dropping money in the savings, you are not, because inflation will hit that thing up over time. All right, look at this. Look at what I've done here. I've made a simple illustration here. Imagine you got 100 naira. Please don't mind the currency. I decided to use, the currency so that you can just have something. It can be any currency. Within 10 years, in an economy where inflation rate is 4%, representing rising prices. That means inflation is all about price going up. That means 1 naira today is not 1 naira tomorrow. The time value of money. And then you have the returns on savings account, which is 2%. Real estate, 6%, and stocks at 8%. So now look at what is going to happen. Look at this next graph. Because graphical illustration helps, and that's why I was able to put this together for us to see. If you look at that graph, you can see what is happening. You can look at the savings, which of course is the green, right? And then look at inflation, which is the blue. And then you can see over time what is happening with the savings and the inflation. And that is how inflation tries as much as possible to catch up with savings at the long run. So if you are saving without a very good investment plan, inflation will almost catch up with whatever income you think you are making from savings. So number one goal, one of the major goals we have for this year is to ensure that you place or you make decisions that will make the interest rates on your savings and investment to be higher than inflation. Most people are not thinking about that. And that's why you see people seem to get it worse, even when they think they are taking smart decisions. Of course, you can see what is happening. Stocks and real estate with higher rates are always beating inflation. Shares has been known to be a very good means anyway, with good returns that beats inflation. So, but how we get there over time. Now, let's talk about this. This is a task for everyone. I don't know if participants can actually send in comments or whatever, but please, if you cannot, let's just play with this. Every participant, please look at what we have here. cultivating an investment attitude, the investor's mindset. I came up with this after hearing a story from one of the pronounced men of God in Nigeria about what he did to a friend and blah, blah, blah. So I decided to coin something, and then I came up with this. So this is a task. Let's see how smart we are with this case study. Task number 2 today, a typical illustration. You suddenly received 20 million credit alert in your personal bank current account. Wow, you saw the alert. Whoa. And then a call came from a well-known investor coach telling you that, oh, that money was not an error. I sent that money to you. Okay. And he has given you the money with 100% access. You have access to the money. But one thing he wants you to do is he wants you to get back in 30 days with your plan for the money. If the plan is good, you keep the money. If not, you send the money back to him. So I ask you a question. What actions would you take to maximize your opportunity between day 1 and 30 before meeting him with your plan? Can I just give us 1 minute? I know if participants are not able to talk to me, I want you to just put something down, and then I'm going to come up with what I think you should do if you are talking about a 21st century investor and you want to have the mindset of what we've been able to do and what we've been able to handle and what I've been able to see, personally during the course of my career. So let's go. So can you just put it down between day 1 and day 30? What will you do and how will you go about this concerning the fact that you have just received a 20 million credit, which is not a fraud, and then you are given 30 days to come up with a plan? How can you maximize? So if people can put their input, so that would be lovely. Oh, if I can see input, that would be fine. If you can, I don't know if people can put their input in, I don't know. Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah.
can actually type their facilitator,
Oh,
please. They can type their inputs on the chat, and then it will be displayed here for you to
good.
see. If there's anyone that has an input or wants to respond to this, please put it on the chat
Yeah.
box, and then we'll pick it up and post it.
Brilliant.
And stream it rather. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
brilliant. Thank you so much. So I give us just a minute. Let me see the smart participant that we have here, and so that I can learn from you, then I can share with you what I think based on my little over 17 years of experience dealing with finance, and then we share together. That's why we're here today. So can I have people tell me, what will you do? I know somebody will tell me he's going to go to church and give testimony and then be praying to God, fasting. God should tell him what to do with the money. So let's see how good we are. We're talking about, I will move it to real estate or mutual funds. Oh, that's okay. When somebody is laughing there, you can see the name of the person. When they okay, I won't talk yet. I will think on money and make my business plan. I will think on the money and make my business plan. I'm like, okay, good. Yeah, more people putting in stuff for us. I'm enjoying this. Yes. Okay. All right. So, any more input? Okay, I will think on the money and really plan. Okay, no, it's still the same. Okay. All right. So, all right. I know some people don't want to write anything so that they don't look like, oh my God. I know, you see, most times the problem we have is it's not money problem most times. Most times the problem we have is we don't have any plan, we don't have any, anything for big money, huge in terms, in quotes. All right, so let's do this because of our time. Now look at what I've done there. The first thing is I intentionally underlined personal bank current account. A smart investor with a good mindset will move that money immediately away from current account, because leaving the money, I will invest, okay, diligent, foundation says I will invest in money market, okay, thank you. Well, all right, keep it coming. Now, a very smart investor will do something. The money enters your account and it calls you that you have 100 access to that account. Number one, the bank will not pay you a dime if you leave that money in that account for the next 1 year or the 30 days. Nothing will come into you. So an investor mindset is no idle funds, leaves in an account that cannot generate anything for you. Same night, someone like me, same night, I will move the money away from my current account. Same time, I'm calling the bank. Can I have your available rates and the forms of investment that I can do either on call, 7 days, 14 days, or 30 days investment? Because in case my coach tells me my plan is not good enough, instead of losing the money entirely, I will make something from the money. So that is the mindset of an investor. Instead of somebody saying, okay, let's go and give testimonial, let's go and dance, let's go and, well, no, let's go and let's see what is going to happen. So, and then call friends and share with friends and family. No. So the first thing you do, your mind clicks. How can I maximize my opportunity from this fund? Okay, so then before you can start thinking of your business plan, you want to write a business plan that might take you time. So someone that said he wants to move to mutual fund, that's my wife that sends that. When the soap stays too long with the leaf, or how do they say it? They become one. So she knows my mindset. That's why she has that response coming in. So you move the money away straight up to mutual fund and invest that money. Okay, so that is just a task for us to start thinking, like, how can I make my 2026 and beyond better? All right, so let's see. Now, let's talk about a class in the investment world. I said something that you need to have a sincere breastplate, a breastplate of sincerity. You are the one that will do this. Please take note. The underlying principle when it comes to the investment world is the higher the risk, the higher the returns. And this is the risk. Remember, we spoke about what makes a good investor in 2020, 21st century. So you must be able to understand this underlying principle. You must be able to define your risk appetite. I put that in red. Risk appetite. If I'm talking now, you will know. Please locate where you belong to. Everyone listening to me this afternoon and everyone that will still be watching me, locate where you belong to in these three categories. Your appetite can either be high, or it can be high, it can be average, or it can be low. When it is high, that means you are a risk taker. Some people are risk takers. And what is a risk taker? What do they do? What kind of mindset do they have? It's either I go big or I go home. I hope you know the meaning. It's either I hit it or I lose it. If I hit it, good. If I lose it, I'm fine. I have what it takes. I got a call from one of my friends in the UK here, and very good senior colleague, and he's a business person. And he was telling me, he has told me the story before. So he called me for something last week. And he was still reminding me how he lost over $100,000 in business, over $100,000, and he's still living and he's still up. So some persons can't play with 100,000 naira. No way, no way. I would rather just be looking at it that way. So are you an average risk person, risk neutral? Show me the numbers. That's just who you are. Just let me be seeing the numbers. I can't take any risk, anything. Just let me see my money. And let me be sure my money is there. Let me just go peep, log on. Oh, it's there, it's sleeping well. Or are you a risk averse? Protect my money. I don't know. Anything. Just leave the money there. Just leave it there. Either I'm getting interest on it or not, leave it there. And these are the kind of people that falls to that category or to that situation where inflation eats up with whatever. Because if you leave money in a current account, nothing is coming on it. And then when inflation comes, the value of the money has dropped. And these people, they don't really know much about it. So that talks about the financial education thing. So let's understand the three streams of income, and that will help us. If you look at what we have here, we're talking about you need to understand the streams of income if you really, really want to have a very good financial plan in 2026 and beyond. Number one, you have the one-time stream. These are the people, you work, you get paid for salary, you earn it, you repeat the cycle again every time to get it done. Thank God I have my she used to be my registrar when I was director of financing at university. So they know how they do it. They know when they check, and they check, are you at work today? Are you absent today? And then they check and say, no, come back to work. If you don't work, no pay. You understand? So these are the one time stream. So are you still end income? Is that where you are? Once and always talks about when you work hard once, but you get paid continually for the same labor. Something like intellectual property, rental property, you release an album. evergreen, and they keep making money from it. That gives you passive income. So for you to be financially stable beyond now, you need to start working towards combination of these three. If you have stayed on the first one for too long, then you need to move to the second one. Now, what is free flow? Free flow talks about you don't have to do anything. Hard work at times, or most times, or at times, it's not equal to more money. So there are so many people that are working hard physically and they are not earning golden money. Why some people are sleeping and money is coming. And that is the level we need to get to as a 21st century investor. You don't have to work to spend or to make money every time. When you put your mechanisms in place and you put your plans in place, you remember the investment vehicles, and then you have what they call a portfolio income. Portfolio income talks about mutual funds, stock bonds, and all that. Comes your way, and then you have the funds there, and then it keeps, bringing back interest to you, even when you are just relaxed. So please take notes and then try to work more to have this. If you are able to put this in place, then your retirement plan is good enough. So let us just look at it. Financial markets, you have the capital markets, you have the money markets, of course, shares, ISA, use tools for investment in global. I'll still talk more about that without boundaries. And money markets, cash, fixed deposit, mutual funds, forex, treasury bills, call money, and then others like personal businesses. You have your own business, you're an entrepreneur, good. Make money from there. Angel investor, some persons need money to make their business grow, and then you have money. You can be an angel investor if you are convinced enough that that business is, it's worth it. All right, very important this afternoon. Let me talk about this. By privilege and by God's grace, what I'm talking about today is not theoretical. These are the proof and the things that I've been able to handle and to do in the course of my career. And that is why it is very important for us to take note of this. Let's talk about unveiling the secret of compound interest in wealth creation or financial success. Well, this is referred to as the eighth wonder in the world. We have 7 wonders, but they call this the eighth wonder in the world. Now, let's look at the case one. Case one talks about the risk averse person, or let me just say a little bit. 1,000 just invest it. So just 1 year. Let me just invest it. That's what the bank said they would do. And then you go home, give them the 1,000 invested, not compounded. You make 150, as returns on investment after 1 year, 365 days. Fine, good. But look at another investor says, no, I have 1,000, but at the same rate, but I want to compound it monthly. These are just, hypothetical cases. So I want to compound it monthly. Means that when my interest should be calculated every month. And when the interest comes, I don't want to withdraw it. Just keep it back and reinvest it. It talks about reinvesting your interest. And then that gives you a new principal every month that adds up. At the end of 1 year, you moved up a bit and you get 160 pounds. These are calculated figures anyway. Please, these are calculated figures on the 1,000, not assumed. Case 3, you have now, imagine if the same 1,000 pounds or dollars or naira is invested at 15% a year and then compounded for 10 years, you have a returns of 3,440. That 1,000 will give as interest, not the principal. Would you have earned himself? So if I intentionally used a very small figure here, because by the time I start putting millions there, and then you start seeing the millions, say, wow, wow, wow. So, but then this at 1,000 is fair enough, looking at here or there, whatever you are in the country, okay? Now, let's look at another phase. Beyond this phase, there's another phase again. And that is where you see people that are set for the 21st century these days, where they belong to. And so many people are doing that. I hope that slide will come out well. So let's move a step further, unfolding the annuity plan of wealth creation. Please pardon, I think StreamYard is the one that that stuff is looking right, okay? So, but let's see, I hope you can see. So moving a step further, unfolding the annuity plan of wealth creation. So you have done compounding, but now look at this option again that takes you higher. beyond the level of compounding where most people have stopped. Now you have an investment, the same money, but then you have built up your financial discipline to an extent that every month you have told yourself, I've been able to put together a principle, but every month I'm going to be adding up to it as it matures, as it rolls over. And so look at the first case. You have the same case that the other one. It stays, it's okay, no, just take it. I don't want problem. I don't even have the financial education or the intelligence to handle this. So it's only known this way. And then look at case 2. The case 2 says, I'll have the same money with you. I have the same interest with you, but then I want it to be compounded monthly, discussing with your bank. And then every month they calculate your interest, they give it to you. You give them an instruction again, reinvest the money. But before they reinvest the money, you had a little bit of £100 to it. At the end of year 1, you would have made 246 returns, excluding principal. Look at case 3. Now the same money, the same rate, and now the same £100. Now do it for 10 years. Like I said, I used a very low figure. I don't want to put millions there. So imagine if this were to be a million. The same money would have given you 18,960 in 10 years without doing anything. Just be compounding it. No matter what is happening in the market, just leave it there and then be adding up to it. This is the wonder. What I'm sharing with you today is what organizations, without mentioning names, well-known organizations are doing, and they are running, and they are making massive returns on it. You see, I've discovered in my little world that the difference between the rich, the wealthy, and the ordinary people or the poor people is the ordinary people says it doesn't matter to what the rich people and the wealthy says matters. What we just shared now about leaving money in correct account, another person will just know it doesn't matter. But the man that has an investor's mind will tell you it matters, because time, money, and value, they go together. All right. So a very good investor will build a portfolio diversification. That is one area you should start looking at again. If you want to be successful, in fact, we have a good financial goal, financial plan, financial success. You need to learn and build up a portfolio. You need to diversify. You need to learn. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't put everything in one basket. So it helps you to spread your risk. You spread your risk. You manage your returns. It gives you safety. And then it is a reflection of your goal and then your risk tolerance. Remember, we spoke about goal and then we spoke about risk. So this helps you in order not to give yourself undue pressure, and then you're able to stay calm in the midst of, in case there is a change, in case there is an issue, in any one of your you are still okay. You are not, you are fine. So it takes economic advantage. Let us learn to take economic advantage of borderless investment plan. Now, for those of us that are in diaspora, please, you should take note that you've just been opportune to be out. But please look back, because there are so many investment plans that are paying far more better in our country if you get the right information. So please, then look at countries with favorable returns of investment, and then you hedge between inflation and then foreign exchange and risk. So start thinking of combining real estate. Ensure you have a land, no matter how small the portion is. Have a land. Don't put all your money. Look at the cash flow, because when you buy land with all your money, you cannot easily sell them, and you still get stranded when you need money at any time. You'll be forced to sell them cheaply. And again, you have to be mindful. Any investment that you have, and anywhere you're putting your funds, you have to be mindful. So have shares if you have the lever, if you have what it takes, if your risk appetite can take it. Shares are good. If you can play there, play there. Mutual fund, very interesting, very wonderful products available, bonds and then treasury bills everywhere. Now, the use of technology, which is very important. Please, you should be ready to use technology. I said something when we're starting that there is nothing that is like dropping from heaven when it comes to the 21st century. Before 21st, you started from 1, and 21st is a build-up from on 1 to 20. So that means there are traditional practices. All is just a twist that has come in, and that's why you have the Gen Z, Gen S, Gen whatever coming up in the name of technology, okay? So let us be prepared to use technology. Boost your chances as an investor through borderless it enables you to have borderless global investment by learning. YouTube has lots and lots and lots. In fact, somebody last week in a seminar that I attended called it the University of YouTube. He said it's a University of YouTube, okay? So you can have lots and lots and lots of things to learn. Without living here, I can see anything from any part of the country. Then start exploring the use of available technology, trading apps, like trading 212, XCB0, and all that. And then you can invest in shares of corporations without living where you are. You can buy shares of Amazon, buy shares of anything on the app without living where you are. Okay, learn and acquire skills that can make you create intellectual properties to enhance your income. We spoke about the hand income, the passive income, and the portfolio income. So use technology to build your skills, learn skills, how you can write books, you can do anything that can enhance the intellectual properties that will enhance your income. You create it, and then it enhances your income and makes you good. Build worthwhile relationship using technology cheaply. Look at what we are doing now. Look at how connected we are. Look at the relationship that we are building by technology from different parts of the world. Everybody now listening and watching. Okay, so this is very important. And so in summary, what we have said in summary as regards the 21st century investor. Number one, stay educated. Financial education is very, very important. Remember, academic education or academic whatever is not the same with financial education. Don't be deceived. There is no way they teach you about how to make money in school. It is not the same. You need to learn it. You need to go for it. Remember risk management. Be sincere with yourself. Where do I belong to? What is my class? If I see a risk, can I identify it? Can I control it? Can I take it? Do I have the lever to accommodate this? Not that when I lose 1 million, everybody will not sleep again. When you lose 1 million, the whole place scatter, your atmosphere, the children and your wife problem. So if you know you don't have the skill and the lever, please don't go there. Don't go there. Just stay within what your appetite can take, your strength can take. And number three, start early on compounding schemes. Start early. It is never too late, but you need to start on time. For those of you that are still younger, and for those of you that are a little bit, but you can start at any time. And then diversify, and use technology. Okay? And so, in conclusion, I decided to put this for us, for everyone to learn and to see. Please be contented. Remember, godliness with contentment is great gain, according to the scripture. And don't be too greedy. That's the warning. That's a caveat. Because most times when people get too greedy, you lose your handed income cheaply. Be careful. Somebody rang me last week and was telling me, oh, please, can you advise and talk to me? I just watched this and they promised to give 20% on any money I give to them. And I asked a question. Have you taken your time to study the financials of the company that is saying you to bring 20%? They want to give you 20% returns. Have you studied their financial performance to even be sure that they are even making profits that is more than 20%? You will agree with me, before somebody will promise to give you 20, they must have made at least 25, 30, or 35, because they will have to cover their expenses and then they will have to make reserve before they now pay out 20. So I said, check it very well. Don't be carried away. So do not join the bandwagon when it comes to investment without defining your class. Don't join it. Define your class first. Don't give yourself an attack. And then remember, it is better to be secured, safe, and flowing constantly than to go big and go home with nothing after years of labor. Okay. Now I close with this. I read a book one time, and that changed my mentality. Especially for those of us that are still working in hand income, the first class. We see ourselves as, when they talk about business, they say, no, I'm not a business, I'm just a salary. My work, I have a career, I have my job. But then I asked myself when I read the book and I saw something, that what is a business? Maybe I should ask us, what is a business? What is a business? What do business people do? Thank God I have my big sister here, who has been a very good administrator. She has written a lot of letters when I was a director of. She would just write it in as an administrator. So I'm going to tell. So what is a business really? What's a business? What's a business? Can we just have it just as I round up? I'm done. But what's a business? Let me share this with us, and that will change our mentality today. What is a business? What are business people doing? What is a business? What separates a business from a salary person or from the administrators are here. So what's a business? Let's see. Who are the people? What are the business people? What is a business? What's a business? So let's see. Let people just tell me what's a business? What's a business? What's a business? And then as you are typing, I'm going to just give you a very short scenario. James works with the Federal Ministry of Works and is paid monthly. Why John has a business as an entrepreneur and it makes money as well. Now, between James and John, who is a businessman or who is in business? I just told you James is an entrepreneur, okay? And then John works with the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. But then let's look at it. Who's in business? Is it James or John or the two of them? At least I need to help us because of time. So just put it there. James, John, or the two of them in business.
Please feel free to type your answers on the chat box. If you're still there, please feel free. Put the answers in the chat box.
James, John, or both. Two of them. Okay, thank you. Teophilos says two of them. Okay. Somebody else talking to me? And okay, as that is going on, the registrar, please, the former registrar, registrar. Okay, please, maybe, or my friends, my brother Sabadari, maybe you need to just tell me, why do you pay people as administrators? Why do you pay them as staff? Why do you pay staff salary? Why? Business is the daily transaction, two of them. Okay, Aflayan Gwenga. Why do you pay people salary?
Well, you pay people salary because of the work they have put in, because they have traded their skill in your business. So essentially, the salary is more or less like you are buying their skill, and that is what you pay for.
Okay. And then when you want to send them away, you tell them your services are no more required.
Your
Am I right?
services, your skills are
no more required. All right. So that is that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now that changed my mentality for life. Either you are earning salary today or you are an entrepreneur. Everybody is a businessman because what the organization is paying for is your services. For you to be in business, it's either you do goods or services. So they are paying for your service. They agreed with you and you agreed with them. That pay me for my service, I will stay with you for 8 hours in a day. And this is how much you will pay. And then, okay, we will pay you. So where am I going? Every man is in business. So the earlier, the better. We start having the mindset, not waiting till retirement. Because the business or the idea or the risk you are running away for today will wait for you when you retire. When you get a hardened pension, that is when you now say, what can I start doing now? Maybe I should start selling pure water. So why not start taking the risk now so that they can have a glorious future? Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to have this wonderful presentation. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much, the convener. Thank you, everyone, the participants. I love you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate. God bless you. Thank you.
Wow. I told you that this was going to be impactful. Well, for me, it was indeed impactful. I guess you had the same experience, right? Have you finished your parfait yet or your drinks yet? You still have some in your bottle, Abi? Right? No, don't worry. Get another one. We still have a few minutes before we close this session. Thank you so very much, sir. I have some knowledge of investment, but what you have dished out today, very compact, very straightforward, no dilly-dallying. You went straight and hit the nail on the head. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And that's why you are the expert in the house anyway. I appreciate. From what you have dished out, I understand the difference between three, because I was always shouting my convener here. Whenever we are talking, I'll be talking to my convener. I say passive income, passive income. We talk about passive. But now I understood the difference between the three incomes now. Yeah, especially the last one, the portfolio income. So now I will re-strategize. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one thing is very clear here. There's nothing you want to do that you don't need discipline. You need to be disciplined. He emphasized that in his presentation. It's not about saying, okay, I want to go into investment, I want to be saving my money or whatever. If you are not disciplined in the first instance and say, okay, under no circumstance will I spend beyond this amount. Now, the temptation is there. There are platforms you can put your money in and you can't even access it yourself. So if you can't access it, no matter the temptation, it's just like if you put your money in your account, it's like putting ice cream in the fridge. You just go there, take a spoonful. The next time, after salivating on the flavor, you go back there, take another 2 spoonfuls. Before you know what's happening, just bring the jar out and then you finish everything. That is the way. That's what you do with your money when you leave it in the bank. But when you put it in some platform, you can't access it yourself. So discipline, discipline, discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, having heard all of this today, it is Q&A session. Do you have any question? If you have a question, I'm sure this will elicit a lot of questions. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. This will elicit a lot of questions. A lot of questions. I'll be checking the platform, the various platforms, and see if we have questions. And I'm sure that if you put your question there on the platform, it will be streamed for everybody to see here on the StreamYard. So please, I'll be expecting question. Question, please. Somebody is asking, can I get the slides, ma'am? Oh, okay. Well, I think we have a platform. If there's a
Ma'am
platform,
is not the owner of the slides. The owner of the slides will decide whether he
we
wants to
decide
give us
whether,
the
oh, okay,
slide.
whether we get, whether so that, that's another business anyway. Okay, there's a question here. Ma'am, can you help us stream it? Please, how safe and advisable is buying shares now? I bought in 2023 to 28, but regretted it. Yes, that was then. Please, how safe and advisable is buying shares now? I bought it. Our facilitator, sir, that period, the experience of that period left an indelible, memory in people's mind. That's why they are scared of and scared of investing in shares right now. But I think you can throw more light on it, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me quickly take this. And you see, I mentioned something when I was talking about risk appetite. And then I mentioned something about the higher the returns, the higher the risk. That's underlying factor. You see, forever, shares, not generally, shares will always, some shares will always be good and they will always give you good returns if you know how to play around it. Now, I give you a very good example. My father, late now, bought shares. I always see him when I was growing up. He bought shares. He would tell you, I bought UBA, I bought that, I bought that. And then my dad has this safe in the house. He will collect his certificates and then he will lock them up in the safe. As I speak now, till he died, these certificates are still there. We have not even been able to go and look to see. What am I saying? That is the level of his understanding and participation. He was not a player. Do you know some people will buy those shares, and these guys will be watching the movement in prices. So they watch every day. And when the market is going down, they quickly sell off. When the price moves up, they sell off. They trade in it. And so that's why it's very important when it comes to shares, it fluctuates. Even when you place the money, where there are some products with the bank and whatever, they tell you this month, these funds are being invested in shares. They will always put something there, a caveat, that anything can happen to your fund because it's shares. It varies, it moves, it's not stable. You can lose fund. They put it there. So that is why you need to understand. Number one, do I have the lever? For me personally, I don't do too many shares personally because I can't give myself blood pressure. If I want to do shares, you must have made up your mind. I have some shares, but I just made up my mind that this one is just there. If anything happens to it, if it goes down, all well and good. So the first thing you need to do and to observe is you need to understand what kind of shares are you buying. That they say something is selling and is moving on well does not mean you should rush to buy. When you buy, did you study the performance? Did you study the report of the shares, the company that you bought? There are some shares, not all shares that you buy. So you need to get advice, you need to get review, get expert opinion before you take decision. But I can tell you that some shares are moving on well. Look at prices today, they've moved up. But then maybe you missed a step or a gap, in the process of acquisition. So I think that's what I'll just say about that. Shares are still good, but you need to check well.
There's another question I'm seeing here. Thank you so very much for that explanation, sir. Even though I'm still coming back to that, but let's quickly deal with this question here. This next one, I wouldn't know if the convener is there to help us stream it. What are the step-by-step guide you can give a new beginner to mutual funds investments?
All right.
Sir, maybe that's number one. There's another one here. You can jot it down, sir. What are the step-by-step guide you can give a new beginner to mutual funds investment? Then another participant asked this question. Second one, can you guide on an organization to invest in? Well, can you guide or give a guide on which organization? I think this person means which platform can you invest in? I think that is a summary.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let me quickly take this through based on my experience and all that. So basically, step-by-step guide, number one, step-by-step guide to mutual funds. Number one is identify or come up with your level of involvement. How much do I want to invest in this, stuff? Now, to help you, we have some banks that have their subsidiaries that basically deal with mutual funds. I know very well UBA has UBA Capital, and which handles all that, and some other banks like that, they do have that. So you look at, for example, that I used to say it, and you will agree with me. There are some banks, let's just look at it in quotes, no matter which country you are, that if they tell you the bank will go down, it will, I don't know, you will shake your head that, because if you look at the record, these banks have been there for years. Even the government will not allow such bank to go down. I remember at the time there was a particular bank that wanted to go down. The government had to come in by force in the days of Anchor that this one cannot go down. So they had to build that bank out because it's been there for years, generations, over 100 years or thereabouts. And imagine if a lot of depositors' funds that are there. So you need to watch the organization or the fund managers that you want to put these funds to. Know how much you want to put in, then understand the products, understand the products, understand the products. Okay, so that is very important. And then try as much as possible to you can ask questions. That's very important. Get an account officer, go online, read about it. There's what they call a fact sheet that they release for those fund managers. They tell you how much they've been able to make, and then they tell you how much they've been doing each of the products. They give you the returns, and then you can see it. I can tell you confidently that if you just go through these 1, 2, 3 steps, identify, know what you want to play, get a company, get to know the facts, and then maybe find out more, and you should be able to do well, in taking the decision in mutual funds. Those mutual funds, as a matter of fact, are paying very good interest as at today. Very, very good interest in terms of performance. Okay. And the second question talks about in knowing the company, right, to invest. I think that's what I have here. In knowing the company to invest, if you want to buy shares, for example, like I think I mentioned that before, you should be able to look at what is the right kind of organization. Look at the history. You can look at the history of the shares performance. If it is a share, for example, you can look at the history. There is always an history. There's a trend. Let me use the right word, a trend analysis. You can look at the trend of performance. Okay. And then try as much as possible to look at the record, look at the profitability. Like I said, look, then when you invest, it's either you are investing to hold the shares, capital gain, capital appreciation for the price to appreciate, or you are investing to just sell, buy and sell. And then you understand that's for capital gain, or you want to invest to get dividends. You have different motives of investment. Some persons that want to buy the shares and just keep it there. That I want to until the price goes up. Well, let me just be getting the dividends. And then so you need to be sure this organization, do they really pay dividends at all? It's all available. If you look at their financials, do they really pay dividends? There are some companies, there are some shares that I know some of one or two persons bought. They've never received a single dividend since they bought those shares. So if that is your motive, you start feeling bad for making such decision. They don't pay dividends, and then you find out how often do they even pay the dividends. I hope you know that dividends are paid out of profits. So when you go buy shares in an organization that is not profit, that are not declaring profits, all they declare is just maybe marginal or loss. There's no way they can pay you dividends, and there is no way investors will want to buy into such. So you need to understand that, and then understand the future. Like, is this a going concern, or this company is even being threatened, already? So that's just few things that you can actually look at to know if a company is good enough or not.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I think the questions just keep rolling in. There's one that is streaming right now in the UK. You can see that, sir.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Says in the UK, what investment opportunities can one invest in? I start keeping in the bank for someone that has low appetite for this. Yeah. Yeah. Because
I'm
that's very
laughing because
important.
I know this
That's
person.
very, very important because when people work hard, you can't just open your eyes and then you just want the funds to just go down that way, go down the drain. So I can tell you very well, one of the things you can do really, it's can you try to maximize your options of let's say the ISA? There's what we call the ISA. Okay. For those of you in the UK, you know what I'm talking about. You have the cash ISA, but I'm going to give you a very good hint now. If a lot of people just hear Lisa lifetime investment savings account, ISA is investment savings account. So in the UK, you have what we call the Lisa. That's the lifetime investment account. That is for people if you are below 40, and then you are looking at having your mortgage, in few years' time in the UK, and you are below 40, please ensure you open a Lisa account as soon as possible. When you open that account, there is something, because I know some persons still don't know about these things. If you open that account, for example, the government pays you 25% of any fund you're able to put into that account in a tax year, in a government tax year. So if you put maximum, the maximum in there is £4,000. So if you put £4,000 there within April 6 and April 5, in fact, even before the end of the tax year, they will credit that account. You can try it in the next tax year. If you put £4,000 at a go or less than £4,000, the government will give you 25% into that account, but you cannot withdraw it for spending. You have to keep saving towards doing your mortgage. These are part of the things you can make more money, within the UK system. Another thing is this. You see, the bank, they have what they call cash ISA as well. You see, cash ISA allows you to save up to £20,000, in the account in a year. You see the interest rates, and that's where I'm going. I'm going to give you a little bit of a shocker now. Now, the interest rates that comes on a normal cash ISA is always very low. Because what we are talking about, why I think this program is very important this year is how to move people up, right? And that's why we're doing this. So if you look at it, the interest rate on that cash ISA is always very low, at times 1 point something percent. But there is another variant. If you check very well with the bank you are dealing with, you know one thing about the bank. I started my career off as a banker. The banker will not never tell you if you leave £1 billion in current account. No bank will call you that can we help you move the money to where you will earn more. They will rather keep you there because that's where they make their money from. Okay, so you need to find out, check your bank and find out. There is a variant, what they call flexible ISA, flexible cash ISA. That flexible cash ISA pays up to about 4%. Look at the gap from 1 point to about 4. Same product, but most people don't know. And with that, they only tell you that can you keep it for a year and then withdraw part of it. So if you have a cash flow plan and you know that I won't be needing this money for now, why not? Instead of keeping it low, like we said, or putting it in current account, can you just put it there? Which of course is an opportunity. And of course, every other investment opportunity, of course, in the UK, like I said, where somebody called me that they saw a company and they said real estate and they want to pay 20%. I cautioned the person, go and find out very well. I would rather advise you with what I just shared with you, you are not really low, but you are then playing smart with the things we are learning today, financial education. Don't see yourself as being low and then pushing yourself to a point of risk where you cannot accommodate. So I think that's what I would just say on that. So try to maximize these opportunities, even in the UK. You read very well, go to other variants of those products, and then that would be pretty good. There are some people that ask for real estate, blah, 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 but just check them very well. As far as I'm concerned, I know how I pay my things. All right?
All right, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate this. I think the other question you have done justice to that. Afolayan is asking what kind of business you advise someone will you advise someone to put his money into? I think that one has been handled.
Oh, I've not seen. I didn't see that. I didn't see that question.
The question, guys, can we stream that?
Oh, I didn't see.
What kind of business would you advise someone to put his money into? I think that's it, to paraphrase.
Oh, okay. From Afla, okay.
Afolayan,
Oh, what kind of business? Wow. You see, this has to do with a lot of checks. You know, I mentioned something about identifying risk and then it goes in place. So, and I mentioned something, I said, okay, angel investor. So, I've done it before and I will still do it again. And I understand what you're trying to say. I've done something like funding, for example, financing transactions. I've done it. So you can finance a transaction, but then you need to be careful, extremely careful. The first thing I check is the confirmation, the source. Is this a viable transaction or is this a viable business? You see, let me share something with you. When I started off my career in the banking, and they were trying to package credit, and I always sit with the credit guys at the head office anytime I go there to pursue or to follow up on credit. And the guy taught me something at a time. He said the bank, as big as they are careful with investing in what they call gray business. When you say gray businesses, my friend Mr. Samedari just woke up one morning and then he comes up with a very good proposal plan. And he tells you, I'm from this business. When I start moving this, a very good thing, just writing good grammar and all that and all that and all that. And he tells you, in 1 year, we can make 1 billion turnover. And then he says, all I need is, can you just give me just 800 million and let me start the business? The bank, even as big as they are careful. Why? Because that's a great business. It's great. You have not done it. You are just writing and then you have not tested it. Not even your fund, maybe 1 or 2 of your fund or money is there, and then you want to trade with other people's money. So please be careful when you see a business and it's looking so sweet and so good, nicely written proposal. Please check it well. How much have you even put there yourself before coming to me to give you money to invest in the business. So that's the first thing I would do. I'll need to analyze. I'll need to ask a question. I remember there was a time, and there was this proposal where I was working at the time, and then there was a proposal somebody wanted to get and said if the provider should bring some money and all blah blah blah. And then they gave the document to us, myself and the senior accountant. And then we looked at it, and then we identified something in the days of Ancon. And then we saw in the financial statement that these guys are owing liability so high. And we agreed and we put it down. If you give them this money, they will pay their debt and come back again. And that's what happened. The money, I don't know how they did it. They were able to convince the investor. They gave them the money, and till today, not a dime came back. So you need to check properly. You need to analyze. You need to check. You can consult financial experts and let them help you check. Let them interpret the financial figures for you, the financial statements, if they have one. That will help. Okay, in knowing where to put your money. Okay.
All right. Thank you so very much, sir. I think that just about wraps it up. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation, sir. It's much appreciated. Moving on quickly so that we'll be business. I have a question, but I wouldn't want to ask that question right now. I think in the course of your answering other question, you've answered mine as well. So I wouldn't want to belabor you on that, sir. So moving on very quickly, right about now, I want to invite Dr. Oludare S for a word of appreciation, not only to the participant, but especially to the presenter of the day for doing justice to this topic today. Thank you so very much. Dr. Bitoye, please.
Thank you very much, sir, the ME. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Yes, well, first and foremost, I would like to appreciate our facilitator for today. And permit me to use these words that our facilitator is a brilliant and seasoned financial expert.
Ebuji, please.
And you can actually testify to that from his very brilliant and thought-provoking presentation. Sir, we deeply appreciate you for opening our eyes to see to how we can actually effectively plan our finances as well as several financial opportunities that we can actually invest in as it were as 21st century professionals. We deeply appreciate you, and I strongly believe that those that are actually on this call, as well as those that will still watch through our social media platforms, the wisdom, the knowledge that we've garnered from this, your wonderful presentation, will make wise use of the tips that you've given to us, and we will be better off. I see people here, as well as those that will still watch, as billionaires, young billionaires, multi-billionaires, by investing wisely. Also, I would like to appreciate our participants for today. Well, this is free, pro bono. However, if you so decide not to join us, well, we can't do it alone. So we want to appreciate you for always yielding to our call, for joining the call, to always learn, relearn, and unlearn, and also to network. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to have you again come March 2026. And to our wonderful host and convener, Ma, will not stop appreciating you for creating a unique platform like this for us to learn, unlearn, relearn, and network. This is free. Although for some of us, we've been pleading, permit me to say this, Ma, we've been pleading that if possible, let us always pay a token, even if it is, because if you attend workshops, conferences, where you won't even get, knowledge like this, they are paying a lot of money, but in our own wisdom, she was like, okay, for now, let us continue to do this. Well, I see
Fadoju.
it as giving back, to the community, and we deeply want to appreciate you, Ma, for this opportunity. Thank you. God bless you. To the TAR, yes, think tank, yes, we want to appreciate you for always being there, for providing support, for providing counsel, always. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you so very much, Doc. Again, thank you so very much, our
Thank
facilitator of the
you.
day.
Thank you so
Before
much.
we wrap this up, I think the convener will have two responsibility role in one. Network was a bit uncooperative earlier, but I wouldn't know. It depends on our choice. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, I have the pleasure to respectfully bring forward the convener of the administrators of Miss Adefunke Folaoyele to do justice to, well, I don't know, opening remarks and closing remarks at the same time. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you
man.
so thank you so much, Mr. Samdari. And
Yes.
it's been a wonderful day. Internet has not been friendly at all. As I speak, I'm right in front of my house. I've sent something to Mr. Dari. I had to move around. I'm on the balcony, sitting down. Wi-Fi will not go, data will not go, and I've been struggling with the internet. And kept saying to myself, is it because of the things I want to say about Mr. Fadoju that
Abi?
they think struggling, struggling with me today? But sincerely speaking, Mr. Faduji has not disappointed us on the administrator. So, from the comments of the participants today and also members of the think tank are here on this platform, the StreamYard platform, I'm sure that you agree with me that Mr. Faduji has not disappointed us at all. I had the privilege of working with Mr. Faduji for 2 years while I served as registrar at Landmark University. He was director of financial services, and his money management skill is out of this world. Let me tell you some of the things I tell him. Because at the end of every academic year, we roll on money. I'm not sure that, well, I'm not going to mention people, but we roll on money to the next session. And I will ask him, and we don't owe salary. Why do the things that we need to do? And then I'll tell him, the you did that money does not ever get paid. But one thing I know does is that he invests, invest, and invest. It's really, let us do this invest. And a few times I said, well, before I was told, I was saying, no, have we done this before? He says, no, we're not doing that. But
Ah, yeah, yeah. This is what we were talking about earlier. Oh, and the thing, true to it, what we call it, has been unfriendly. Please just let us hold the call for a few more minutes and see if she will come back because we would love to hear what she has to say about the uh, facilitator of today. Right now, I could see that there are still some questions, but that is all we could take for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we really want to drag this beyond uh, what is necessary this afternoon. Just a few more minutes and see if she will come back, come up. I think she said she's trying to give you a lot of flowers, sir, especially what you did during COVID
Well,
for
oh, what? Yeah,
Landmark University. She was
yeah,
trying to
well,
give you some flower because then all through COVID, the money was just flowing. I would never knew how how you got that done.
she, funny enough, she will always ask me in those days that where are the monies? Where are they coming out from? Where are you getting the monies from? Right?
Yes, yes.
Because we're able to run an effective reserve, policy. And then in the midst of COVID, we're able to do extremely
I
you
asked
know.
you, I asked you one time like that. I said, how do you manage? You said we have 6 months straight. I said,
Yeah.
how did you do it?
Yeah, so that's one thing I was saying about, and that's one thing that has actually helped, and that's one thing I said about financial discipline. So when you see instances of abundance, like I said, ensure you have a good reserve plan because
Mm.
things might shift. Number one. Number two, when things are not going the way they should do, what we simply did there was to re-strategize. You don't do capital expenditure when you know there is no fund coming in.
No phone
You cut
coming
down,
in.
you cut down on recurrent expenditure. It's not everything that comes that you do at that point. So, and apply it to our personal life. So it's not everything that you were eating before when
That you must
that you
eat.
must eat. So you cut it down. You don't go everywhere at the same time. Take advantage of promo. Take advantage of things that can
Other
actually
things.
make you reduce expenses, and then you should be fine. So I'm sure
Um,
people will definitely be fine. Please ensure that next January is not the one. If you had a January of lack, this one, that means you are still not there. So between now, I know people will tell you January is the longest, but I think it's yes,
honestly,
I've never experienced that. So people should plan towards it, be financially disciplined, caution yourself, and then ensure that your January is the sweetest, not just the longest, it's the sweetest every year. There's no difference.
oh,
So I think that will help.
all right.
Quite
Oh, in the
unfortunate
spirit of
loss.
asking further questions, sir, I
Oh,
think while we are still waiting for the convener to come on board, if you are trying to save for posterity or you are trying to build some sort of a soft landing fund for posterity, which one would be better? You mentioned that we should be very careful with, or we should be very wise with shares. So, what other choice do we have that will
yes.
be safe?
Yeah, that's a very good question. My wife is listening to me right now, and I was doing a little bit of thinking and we're analyzing, and I said, do you know that it's good to have land? It's good to
Hmm.
build houses. It's good to have tenants you put in the houses because people want to have rental income. But have you ever sat down to think properly and deeply that when you build a house with about 35 million, 40 million, 50 million, and then you now put tenants there that are actually bringing in maybe 1 million every year, and then how many years will it take you to make that
To
money back?
recoup
Number one,
that money.
put it down. Number one. Number two, a smart investor will think, have you ever considered the maintenance that those tenants, the problem they are giving you as regards maintenance? So we're analyzing, and I told my wife one day that to even build a house and put tenant at times is a problem. Instead of giving myself a headache, there are so many people in the diaspora now that have done it. And I said, when people are doing things, don't just do it. Ask yourself, do I have what it takes? What is the plan? Did I even drop a plan before I venture into it? Now, for the fact that the people are in diaspora, there are a lot of now a lot of people are not making back that money because of the maintenance cost recurring that is eating up the income that you are even making. So when do you want to break through or break even in your lifetime? So you need to ask
Wow,
yourself, you need to ask yourself,
I'm serious.
I as a person, I can sell off a house and put the fund, separate it into mutual fund, just be giving me 15% compounded. All I want to do with prosperity is to have what to eat and how to survive when I'm old, when I'm not working anymore.
I think she's back online now
So she's back now.
again.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think with that, I've been able to
Well,
answer.
I think I should just
Yes, you need to answer that question, sir. All right. Thank you very much, sir.
All
Ma'am,
right.
are she frozen again?
Sure.
Serious.
Uh, she's gone again.
She's gone again.
Uni- all
Has
right.
she?
So,
But she needs to close this session because she's the one who will
yeah,
close
it's
this
coming
session
now.
from her end. Now, wow. Just a moment. Ah, seriously. She don't go pata pata. Well, while we are still waiting for her, maybe I should just be reading the comments of a participant today, aside from the question that we have seen. What is that? Okay, Dr. Genesis now said knowledge delivered, knowledge learned, ready to be used for the best of our finances. That's wonderful. That's profound. Thank you, Dr. Genesis. Waiting there now.
Thank you.
And then I think Mr. Abayomi also says you have done justice.
Oh,
You have done justice to the people heartfelt need, the director of money affairs, like I used to call you. Thank you for coming.
thank
Thank you
you.
for coming. So then Mr. Olamuyegun Shegun said, thank you so very much. He's also appreciating you for doing justice to the subject matter. Mr. Folayan said, this is very much impactful.
Thank you.
I said, thank you, very impactful, sir.
Thank you.
Then Roseline Yassin said, thank you. Mr. Yokola Adegun, of course, the one who wanted to know about the UK investment,
Oh,
said very insightful. Of course, the administrators of is also recognizing you. A big thank you to our dear Mr. Oludare Fadoju for taking time out to expound the given topic. We appreciate his passionate delivery on the topic. Thank you.
always his background.
Really, we appreciate you, sir. While we are still waiting for him. Okay, thank you very much. She's back now, ma. Ma.
Thank you so much. I think we should just quickly wrap up so that we
Right, that
can
is.
also end. Because I'm the only person that has the authority to end the stream. But I will not
Yes.
end the stream without saying that Mr. Fadoju is an extremely cerebral person who is very good at what he does. And I can assure you that after now, a lot of people who get in touch with me for your contact. So get ready to become consultants to many. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah,
Yes, we
okay.
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
Oh, 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 oh.
Freezing again. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, ma. It's keep
In my
freezing and freezing.
mind. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you, ma. Seems her
Can you hear
feedback.
me?
Yes, we can hear you,
You
ma.
cannot
Please
hear me.
go.
So yes, I was. And after I've said this, I'm going to close end the stream so that we are not doing this back and forth again. I permission to do this. Like I said, is 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 skills, you know,
Wow,
in
thank you.
financial management. Yes, I respect him for that, and I was saying that he should not be surprised. The people, as a financial, so you should get ready for that. It's on this note that again I want to. Yes, I'm speaking.
It's gone again.
I want to appreciate every one of us for staying on today. March. So see you next month.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.